Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Magic with Zuby. My name is Zuby, and if you're brand new to this show, the show's all about a little well-known card game called Magic the Gathering. So on today's episode, we brought on none other than AliasV, aka Ali, and we talked a lot about, obviously Magic, but I think the thing I was most interested about that we really discussed was her commentary experience, and just really, I love learning the behind the scenes stuff on that. And there's also some really good tips on content creation and also what it takes to immigrate from one country to another. That was sort of the beginning of our conversation there. So I hope you all really enjoy the conversation. I know I had a hell of a time talking with her. She seems like a really cool person. Had a great time. And I guess before we get into the interview, let's get some announcements out of the way. If you want to help support the show, you can help support the show at Patreon at patreon.com/magicwithzuby. This show is available on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, Spotify, Amazon Music now. Yeah, it's on Amazon. And YouTube, yeah, my YouTube, which, I only really do YouTube for really a few of you and all that. So, and, for all you people that love to watch. Reach out if you want to find me on Twitter at Magic with Zuby, on Instagram at Magic_with_Zuby. I'm trying to be more active on Facebook. I don't like Facebook. And then you can reach out to me on email, mtgzuby@gmail.com. And yeah, that should be it. Sorry. Like, I literally just got done with the interview and I'm recording this now. Usually, sometimes I do this like a day or two after to do the intro and outro. But no, it's just getting it all done right now. And so we got some ads here. If you are watching the YouTube video, you probably will notice a different symbol there in the corner. So we are officially sponsored by cardsphere.com. I don't have a commercial lined up yet. That I haven't made one. I'm actually working on a script. But yes, I am officially with cardsphere.com, and I am very happy and proud to be a part of their content creator family. As you all know, I have worked very closely with a lot of them. I've had them on the podcast, and it was just something that, I wanted to do. And there's no shade thrown towards a legit MTG or anything like that. It's not that I wasn't happy with them or anything. And it was all on mutual good terms. And I still appreciate that they were the first ones to basically sponsor my podcast and really help me get noticed out there. And I have nothing but respect and love for legit MTG. And I know it's a business sponsor, so I shouldn't talk too much about it, but they were the first. They were the ones who gave me the chance and all that, and so I respect what legit MTG has done for this show and for me. And so it's just one of those experiences that I won't forget, and now it's just time to move on, and I'm very happy to start working with cardsphere.com and can't wait for what the future entails for that here. So like I said, if you're not watching the video, hey, I'm officially sponsored by cardsphere.com. If you are watching the video, you probably noticed that logo right there and like, what's going on here? So thank you again. And then we got one quick little ad for Magic for Normies, and then we will get on with our interview with AliasV. And that is how you beat the latest standard meta with Abzan.
Ugh, it feels like there's no Magic content out there for someone like me. Someone who doesn't want to be competitive. Someone who is...
Who is a normie?
Yeah, exactly! A normie!
Well, have I got the show for you, the all-new Magic for Normies show.
Hi, I'm Pixie.
And I'm Zuby.
Together, we host the all-new
Magic for Normies.
It is the Magic the Gathering show for all your normie needs. We don't care what deck got into the top 8 or what deck is winning. We care about having fun playing Magic.
That's right, Pixie. You can watch us on Pixie's Twitch channel at twitch.tv/PixieKittenPlays and catch the VOD on our YouTube channel, Pixie Kitten Plays. If audio is your thing, you can find episodes on the Magic with Zuby RSS feed.
Magic for Normies.
So, Zuby here, and I have with me Ailey, aka AliasV. Probably recognize her a little bit from not only streaming, but also you've done a lot of Magic commentary as well too for some of the, what are they calling it, Mythic Championships,
The Players Tours,
Players Tours,
World
yeah.
Champs. I don't know,
I
just everything kind of all in one.
So, well, first of all, thank you for agreeing to come on this early. It's actually before 8 o'clock in the morning Eastern time during this.
Oh, it's fine. I'm usually an early bird. By this time, I'd be 2 hours into a normal stream on a weekday. So it's cool. It's the weekend.
Oh, dang. Yeah, because you're in the same time zone as me, and
Yeah.
you have you always been that kind of early bird, just waking up that early? And
Yeah, it's just a habit that formed when I first started streaming because I was working full time as well. So the most time I had available to stream was before work in the morning. So I'd be up at like 5 a.m. streaming until 11 when I had to get going to work. So
oh god, oh god, that's crazy.
I'm very tired in the evenings for what that's worth.
yeah. Oh, I bet. That's So you recently moved to Canada, right?
Yeah, about 3 years ago.
3 years ago. Okay, and you used to live in South Africa before that.
Yeah.
That's nice. So what's the move been like? Like, how different is it between South Africa and Canada?
It's kind of like night and day. Honestly, unless you've experienced first world country luxuries, I want to put it like that, you don't actually realize just how different it is from living in. I mean, South Africa is not really a third world country. If there was such a thing as a second world country, I don't think there is. But like, it's so different. Like the level of security and just like, the free healthcare that actually works and is good and won't end up making you feel worse, or this sounds like I'm painting a pretty bad picture here, but crime rates, for example, is one thing that's very bad in SA, and in Canada, it's just like it's something you don't even worry about. I think one of the strangest things that we experienced when we got to Canada was a news story on, whichever, I don't know what the local news stations are, but the same thing about a shop being broken into was news like 3 days in a row. In South Africa, it would be heinous crimes.
Oh, wow.
Like back to back every single day and everything different. And it's so much more chilled, relaxed. Things work, public transport also works. It's just, it's night and day. Like it was a complete, that mind blown meme, just it was like that when we got here.
Wow,
so,
that's crazy. Was it hard to like immigrate from the two countries, from South Africa to Canada?
Canada actually has one of the easiest ways in, I guess. They have this thing called express entry, where if you're an individual with a skill set that they're looking for, then you get extra points or provincial nominations, that sort of thing. It's a very involved process, and it took a couple of years to actually do. But a couple of years is way quicker than some other places where it takes like, I don't know, 5+ just to say yes or no to get someone in. So yeah, it was pretty easy comparatively.
Interesting. So are you officially a citizen in Canada, or are you still, I don't even know what the equivalent of like what we in America call like a green card or something?
Green card, yeah. So so we're permanent residents.
Okay.
Citizenship pending. So hopefully soon, TM.
So what's the process for that like to get a citizenship in Canada? Sorry for the non-magic related stuff. I'm just interested in this kind of stuff. It's
fun. So with Canada, you have to be here for a specific number of days over 3 years, and then you can apply. So
is there any kind of like
that point
citizenship test you got to take or something?
Yeah, you got to go and answer the questions about the country and sing the national anthem and do a whole bunch of other stuff that we're looking into now. So
oh god, it's understandable. It's just also, I don't know, to me that's just such a weird process where you got to learn the history of the country. Like in America, you got to learn the history of America, and then just like you said, sing the national anthem. It's just, I don't know, just weird. It's like, let me pay the money and let me live here.
I guess they have to have some way to know that you're actually dedicated to making the country a better place. Like you actually want to know about the history and the whatever else they want you to know. So
which I guess is
fine. They need some way to filter out the bad beans.
Yeah, I guess it's fine. But I mean, like if you want to live here or live in a place and like, hey, I'm gonna, be a productive member of society and pay taxes, like, okay, cool.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's one of the questions they ask you when you send through the application. It's like, have you paid taxes? Yes. Were you eligible to pay taxes? Yes. Okay, you can stay. It'd be nice if it was that simple.
Oh, I didn't even think of that. Like, is there any kind of, like, I'm assuming there had to have been some sort of background check they had to do on you?
Yeah, so they did all those when we applied for permanent residency. So before we even moved here. So I guess they just kind of, I don't know, accept that you haven't done anything dodgy since then, but I honestly don't know. I'm sure they'd look into you and make sure there's no marks on your records.
Make sure you're not like an international criminal or something like that.
Yeah, that would be a bad thing. Like those checklists that they give you at the airport, like, have you done this? Have you been here? Are you a terrorist?
Yeah,
you just take note to everything, and then if you lie, well, you suck.
Yeah. No, that's interesting. It's I don't know. I always like learning about processes like that. Like one of my friends, his wife came from Africa, Zimbabwe, and just talking about and I like learning about the process of what it was all like to finally make his wife a citizen of America and all that. And it's just,
oh man,
it's freaking expensive. Like, I don't know how expensive it is in Canada, like, to become a citizen and all that, but he told me some of the costs for, like, American citizenship. I'm like, how the hell do people even afford that stuff? Like, and no wonder it takes people long-ass time to be citizens.
It's not cheap, that's for sure, but, it's people put it in perspective on, like, some of the forums that everyone goes onto to, like, discuss where they are in their application process, and they say, okay, yeah, it's expensive now, but if you think about it, it's like a month or two's salary once you're in the new place, just based off of like the expected income you should be having. And when you put it like that, it's like, yeah, okay, that's not that bad. Because the one thing that's very different between the two countries, like, it's a lot more expensive to live in Canada comparatively to South Africa, but you also earn can I say the S word?
Yeah.
Not if I'm allowed to swear.
No, yeah, you can swear. That's fine.
It's a shitload. You earn a shitload more in Canada too. So it's a mind shift. You just got to stop converting. Yeah. Don't convert. If you ever move between countries, don't convert. It's a bad idea.
Well, that's also similar in America, like going from state to state, because some states, like, I use California and New York as an example. Like, hey, you can make $200,000 a year in New York or California, but you get like a little ass apartment and all that stuff because it's so expensive. Where somewhere like I live in Florida, so if I were to make $200,000 a year in Florida, like, I've got a mansion, I've got freaking property and all that stuff. It's
crazy. It's the same with Toronto, where we lived when we first moved here. Like, a small 1 bed and a den for however much a month. Meanwhile, the place we're living in now is the same price a month, but like 4 or 5 times the size. So it's just crazy.
Yeah, it's insane. It's like just even within my area, like, I've got a decent house and all that stuff where I live now. And if I were to try to buy this same house just within Tampa, the city of Tampa and all that, it'd be like, I'm looking at $500,000 and all that stuff. Like, and it's like, no, my house is not anywhere near worth that at all. It's just, I always find property values like that crazy.
Yeah, and they just keep going up and up and up and up, and eventually the bubble bursts, and then everyone jumps in and like, buy all the things.
So, one of the things I wanted to really ask you about, because you recently, was it this year or was it last year that you went full time with content creation? This year, that's
February.
Right. Yeah, it feels like last year because of just everything that's happened.
This year. Woo-wee, let's not talk about this year.
So actually, that kind of brings up a good point or a good question for my first one. So, when you going full time February of this year, and then this whole pandemic really hits and things really start locking down, like, how that must have been really nerve-wracking. Like, was it nerve-wracking for you?
Actually, I couldn't have timed it better because I'm pretty sure, like, I chatted to a few friends from, like, the previous place I worked and, a few other people in the industry, and they had to make a lot of cuts. And, like, if I had kept working, I'm pretty sure I would have been one of the ones to go because I was one of the newer people in the companies.
Okay.
So, like, I think I don't want to say blessing in disguise because this whole year sucks pretty much in terms of like pandemics and whatnot, but
Yeah.
like being able to work from home and having the support from the community and stuff and having my sponsors just, you know, to be able to do this full time when I did, like, yeah, 100% blessing in disguise and expertly timed on my parts.
Okay, well, that's a good way to put it. I like that perspective there. But
Yeah.
I guess one of the things that I always like to think about is when I think about if I were to ever want to become full time or anything like this,
Yeah.
is just the unstableness of it from like month to month, having to, I guess, rely on income that's not stable or anything
Yeah.
like that. Like, what's your thought process? Like, what led you to that point of being able to be like, okay, I can now go full time, you know, and I guess we'll start there. Like, what led you to that point of knowing that you could go full time?
So it's different for a lot of people. You know, obviously
Yeah.
some people strike it super lucky on Twitch and they're earning a crap load initially, and then they just go full time and they're set, right? For me, it was a slow build up, and I probably could have gone full time earlier than I did. Because, you know, I was earning enough to cover all my expenses and a little bit, you know, extra for savings, that type of thing. So you know, it's a leap of faith when you do go full time. You have to not be stupid about it though. If you want to do like content creation full time, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Don't just rely on. If I disconnect, it's because my cat is climbing on my keyboard.
No, I see it. I see it.
Don't rely on one source of income. You know, like, yeah, all your eggs, put them in different baskets so that if one thing fails, then, you know, you have something else to rely on. So like for me, I've got Twitch, I've got YouTube, I've got my sponsors, I've got my Patreon, I've got you know, affiliate links with different companies, that sort of thing. So yeah, like it's kind of like looking at a portfolio of investments. It's like, okay, where's the money coming from? Where's the money going out? Is it all kind of looking good here for me? Sure, cool. Let's give it a go and try it. And yeah, so far so good. You know, fingers crossed. There's no major drop in one thing or another, but you know, like I think my community is very supportive, and I'm really lucky in that regard that I have this core support structural base who are there for me each month. So yeah, shout outs to them for being awesome.
No, that's awesome. I don't know. I think it takes a lot of guts for someone to go full time, and it's interesting that, you know, as technology like this progresses and more of these kind of forms of entertainment progress, where these are kind of valid careers per se, it's because you're sort of being this entrepreneur, entertainer type person, just in a different venue, instead of going, hey, I want to be, you know, entertainer or sportscaster. You got to go to Hollywood, or you got to go, you know, somewhere else. Nope, you can do it sort of from the comfort of your home now, which is
it's really cool. No, it's awesome. And the one thing I forgot to mention, which is obviously a big duh, you idiot, is the commentary side of things, because like that's also been, you know, like a big bolster to, you know, my career and my
that's how I first found
presence
out about you.
Yeah.
I just feel like I don't remember what Mythic Invitation. I don't know. I'm so confused with all these naming conventions now that Wizards is like, I can't. I honestly don't know anymore. But
who dominated the meta? Then I can tell you which one it was.
I honestly can't remember. I think it was like the first one that you showed up in, and I was just like, oh, who's this? You know, and no, it's been nice to see your gradual growth into that, and you know what, I want to get into a little bit of the commentary, but with just going into the full-time content creation, it's for a lot of people out there, it's, you know, I see a lot of times, you know, just content creators who start off new, like regardless of what they're doing, streaming, podcasting, YouTube, and all that, they, you know, they're like, all right, I want to make it big, and all that stuff, and you know, that feels like to be their first goal. They want to do it full time. Was that sort of like your first goal when starting this, was to, all right, I want to do this full time, or
No, that came later. When I first started streaming, I was doing it because it was fun. You know, I wanted to see what would happen, and you know, I actually started streaming off of my PlayStation, just playing another card game called Gwent. It's a Witcher card game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Love The Witcher. I'm actually
Yeah.
reading the book series right now.
Oh, nice. Nice. Yeah, they're very good.
Yeah, I'm on the last book right now. It's so good.
Okay, no spoileriness.
Let's just say that I hope the show gets to this point, like they don't cancel
Yeah.
it or something, because it's insanity right now.
That would be cool. So like for streaming wise, I was doing it for fun because I enjoyed it. It was a new challenge. I looked up to a bunch of other streamers on Twitch that we discovered and had, given people advice about starting channels and doing that sort of thing. So to me, it was a challenge. I like to give myself little tasks or objectives to achieve or, missions to accomplish. And streaming was one of them. It was like, okay, cool. I had 2 viewers today. Let's try get some more tomorrow. Oh, cool. 5, 10. Wow, 15. Cool. 100. What? This is actually going pretty well.
Like-
and it just kind of bolsters your confidence and it's like, hey, I'm actually kind of entertaining. This is great. And from there on, then the thoughts of, hey, maybe I could do this full time one day. And then you start setting your goals and your things to that. And it's like, okay, all right, that's what I'm working towards. But I need to not focus too much on the numbers. Otherwise, I become very antsy and I don't have fun anymore, which is, it's kind of the mistake I made a couple times where I was too focused on the numbers and not just focused on enjoying myself. And, people could see that.
Yeah, I think we all fall into that trap.
Oh, yeah.
Like there was, like I thought I was going to be done with my podcast last year because for whatever reason, like my entire podcast downloads took a huge dip early 2019 and in late 2018. And I'm like, what the hell's happening? Because it's like nothing changed with my content and all that. And I was seeing like super low numbers and I'm like, well, maybe this is it. Maybe this is where I just end it. But I kept pushing. And this year has been surprisingly some of the best months I've had in terms of downloads. And it's weird because it's like nothing's changed or anything.
Yeah. But you know what as well, like people go through I think just like Magic goes through, shitty metas and situations like that, people also disconnect a little bit and stop playing and take a break. Like I can see that with my content too. Like my Twitch has been good, but like YouTube has also taken a bit of a hit lately. And it's because people aren't super interested in the meta right now. Like it's a little bit all over the place and not fun to play.
Blame
I'm
them.
struggling a bit to play sometimes. So.
Oh my gosh, yeah. It's I was streaming some Zendikar draft the other night and I only got 2 drafts in. I'm like, all right, I'm done. It's like nothing but rogue mill or it's like okay, this is just boring. Like how is everybody drafting the exact same thing?
Yeah. And it gets very monotonous sometimes. So we just need like a breath of fresh air in the format. Hopefully there's going to be some bans or something. But yeah, that's why. Like, don't ever take it personally if stuff isn't doing as well as it used to. It's just people need a break from the same thing over and over again.
So how important do you feel is that mindset of just trying to have fun with your content instead of just all right, I need to make it big? Because I see too many new content creators with that mindset of they need to make it big.
Oh, that's just, you're setting yourself up for failure, honestly. Like, I don't see myself as like this massive hotshot Twitch streamer or whatever, but I can be considered a professional now because this is my profession. I'm making money off of it enough to support my family and whatever,
Yeah, you're doing well enough.
Yeah, I'm doing well enough to say that, don't make I must go full time your main objective. Focus on you have to love it. Like love what you do and you'll never work a day in your life. It should never feel like work when you're doing this. If it feels like work, you're doing it wrong.
That's how I feel about my day job.
Yeah, keep finding the joy. Like just if you're not enjoying a game of Magic, go and play something else for a bit, like it's okay.
And it's one of the reasons why I'm back on the WoW crack right now. Plus with the new expansion coming out soon, and it's like I just need a break from Magic. Like I still love playing paper Magic because I try to stream EDH at least once a week. With some of my people on my Discord, or I'll try to invite some people, and that
Would
I
you
think.
Like to play with us?
Oh hell yeah! It's
sweet.
I've got
Maybe
so many
today,
EDH decks.
Like we play every weekend if you're keen. Come play with us.
Oh heck yeah! It's It's yeah, I was streaming almost every Saturday morning for EDH because during the first of the pandemic, like I didn't start streaming EDH until the pandemic, really.
Yeah.
Before that, it was only really Magic Arena. But then when Spell Table came out, that
Yeah.
was like a godsend. And I
That's
was
great.
almost every Saturday morning, I was playing with a bunch of my UK friends who we never ever get to play at all anyway because by the time zones and all that. So yeah, it's like it's been almost every Saturday morning until the past like month and a half. But yeah, I'm always down for playing EDH.
Sweet. Cool. So long as you're not playing any combo decks, you are more than welcome.
No, that's actually so I've got a few like rules that I set up for people like no infinite combos.
Yeah, please.
Because it's not that so I only really have that rule just for streaming because I feel like because I like to bring on new people onto the stream and all that, other content creators, and I know how some people like the infinite combos and all that, but my kind of reason why I don't like that is because then all you're gonna do is just build towards the combo and then win and all that. It's like I want to still have like an interactive, fun, chill game, and it to me doesn't matter like who wins or anything. And
yeah, same. I much prefer having combat steps,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I also don't like mass land destruction or anything. Like, like if there's targeted land destruction, that's fine.
Yeah.
But like, I'm gonna play Armageddon, and you're just like, oh, great, now no one's gonna have fun.
Yeah. Well, you suck.
Yeah. No, it's been a real fun mindset because I came from before I started streaming on here. I came from a pretty cutthroat play group before with EDH. So when we first started, all my EDH decks were like way too strong for like most of the other people I bring on stream. I'm like, oh shit. So I've had to really learn to power down my decks, and I've been having more fun with those less stronger decks than I am with my really good decks.
Diluted.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Like my personal preference for EDH is I like creature-based decks and I like getting value off of them. So aristocrats, vampires, that's my jam. But
oh my gosh.
Them and I get so sad.
you know Pixie Kitten?
No.
No, so she's another content creator. We do a casual MTG podcast called Magic for Normies, and where we it's our basic thing is we don't care about competitive Magic, whatever. We just talk about Magic for the fun of it. And you and her would probably be best friends because those are her two favorite kind of decks to play: aristocrats and vampires.
She should come play with us too.
Oh, she'd love it. She do you remember? Did you see that whole MTG Bunny cosplay thing on Twitter? Yes. She did a Bunny Soren. Soren is like her bae.
Oh yeah, I think I did see that actually.
Yeah, she's
I think I saw that. That was cool.
Yeah, she's great. I love her. No, we started doing that podcast beginning of this year, and we'll also stream some EDH, and it's yeah, I'll mention it to her. We need to maybe after the show I'll get with you and just try to schedule time and all that. Sweet. And get her on too.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Because she's definitely, her decks are a little bit more, well, she likes to say a lot of all her decks are low powered, but don't let her fool you. She's got she's got two decks like Elenda, which is basically her stupid vampire.
Yeah, Elenda's great. And I've got her in my Taser deck.
And then she also has Corvald, which she's like, oh no, Corvald, it's fine. Like, no, it's not fine. It's not.
It's just a big flappy dragon that gets you cards like as soon as he enters the battlefield. This is great.
Yeah. Yeah, but so oh yeah, content creation. No, you had some good points with see, and that's what happens. It just goes off the rails here.
Oh, that's fine.
So no, I like a lot of your thoughts on content creation. It's it's sort of the mindset that I feel you need to grow into, and it's hard to learn right at first because, like you say, you want to get so focused on growing and all that stuff, and it's like this is the first year in a long time where I've had the most fun doing content, like doing my podcast, doing streaming. As shitty as this year has been, I'm trying my best to find the good of it and all that. Yeah. It's
like yeah, like you said, as bad as this year is overall, like personally, it's been a really good year for me, and I kind of feel bad about that because so many people have had such a shitty one, right?
I know.
It's like I want to be happy for myself, but
And I feel like you're allowed to be, and it's okay to be happy for yourself, you know.
Yeah.
But it's also, you know, recognizing and understanding, you know, that not everybody's as lucky in the situation, and it's, you know, I guess as long as you're not flaunting it and
no. Like I'm not doing. Yeah, I'm not trying to be all braggy and boastful
Yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff like that. And where I can, I'm trying to do my best to like help out, you know, people who are in need. You know, charity
Yeah.
streams, that sort of thing. So using my platform that I'm lucky enough to have for good for the community. So
yeah.
I balance it.
And yeah, Pixie and I, we did a charity stream, actually our very first charity stream, and I was so impressed with our little community. We our only goal was what, $250 to raise for, oh gosh, she's gonna kill me because I forgot the charity already. I think it was a cancer charity.
Okay.
And like we made that goal within like the first 5 minutes of the stream, and we're like, oh shit.
Well, time to up those goals then.
I know, right? Right. And because the final goal was to get pies in our face, and it was so much fun.
Nice.
It's like I want to do more charity streams like that. That was just so much fun just doing it. I've never done one before. There's that Extra Life charity stream that's going on. I want to sign up for that because I saw that Mishi, you know Mishi?
Yes.
I'm so sad that she left WotC. It's like,
Same.
I get why, you know, because hopefully whatever new position she got's better for her and all that stuff. But
Yeah. She's working at Extra Life now.
yeah, and which is great for her and all that stuff. It's just still sad that she left WotC.
Doesn't mean we still can't bug her though and be like, hey, how are you?
Oh,
what you doing?
I know. I've already bugged her. I actually was talking to her yesterday and asking her. I didn't even know she was going to respond. Like, hey, would you play D&D with me? She's like, yeah. Let me know when. I'm like, oh, I didn't think you'd say yes.
Crap, go make a campaign quick.
Well, no, I'm already doing a campaign and all that stuff, but I'm just sort of like, okay. I got to figure out what I'm going to do.
Cool.
Do you play D&D or anything?
Me play D&D? Yeah. Play with merchants a bunch.
Oh, that's right. I have seen you on that. I forgot about that. I forgot Merchant does that.
Goblin stuff. We did a Ravnica campaign. We did Strahd.
Ooh, I want to play that one so bad. Like I've read the book. I DM mostly. I'm like one of those forever DMs. So I very rarely get to play, but I've read through Curse of Strahd. That sounds so much fun.
Yeah, it's very dark. It's a little it's dark. Like I didn't get very far into it because I had to stop for work reasons. So you know we got to a certain point and then I kind of just fell down a set of stairs and was never seen again. But yeah, like the campaigns are really fun. We're actually firing up a new one soon around Icewind Dale.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, the Icewind Dale, the new campaign book that just came out.
Yeah, so characters go. Brrr.
Oh yeah. No, I just got that book. I haven't cracked it open yet, but I've read a lot of the Forgotten Realms books with Dritz, and that was always one of my favorite regions was the Icewind Dale, the 10 towns. Yeah. And all that.
So, we're gonna be in there soon. Woo.
That'll be cool. Is it with Merchant again?
Yeah. With Merchant, with Theric 6, with
Justin?
Jonathan. Yeah, Justin and Craig. I think I might be missing someone, and they're probably going to kill me when I forget them. Lady Lavinius.
Oh, cool. Yeah, yes. She's great. I had her on the podcast, and I had Justin on the podcast, too. He's a really cool dude.
Yeah, he is. He's super smart. He's too smart. I feel dumb around him. Don't tell
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, no, because I was... Oh, crap. What's he going to school for? Like research psychology or something like that? And
he's doing some fancy smart man thing.
Yeah, like the majority of my podcast with him was I was just asking him like what he does for like going to school and what that all entails. And I was more interested in that. And then I'm like, okay, then we can talk about magic now. All right.
Yeah. He's an interesting guy.
So one thing I definitely want to bring up is magic commentary. I've talked with the few GPs I've been to. I've talked with Rich Hagen a bunch,
Oh, yeah.
and just asking him like commentary stuff, and it's always like I've kind of always had this side interest in it, doing it. But you know, what got you into the commentary part of it?
Mishy.
Mishy?
Yeah. She
Oh,
got me
really?
into it. Yeah, because you know at the was it PAX East 2019?
Okay.
Yeah, 2018. No, 2019. They had the Mythic Invitational. It was the first one that Andrea Mengucci won. And they invited a whole bunch of content creators to play in it, right? And I was kind of hoping I'd be one of the people invited to play in it, and then there was no invite, and I was real sad. And I was like, "No, I guess I'm not playing in this one. I'm sad." And then she's just like, "Well, we don't want you to play in it. We want you to commentate it." And I'm like, "Wait, what? Why? I've never done this before in my life. You're crazy." It's basically the reaction I had. I was like, "But I want to play in it. I don't want to commentate it."
Yeah.
Oh, my sweet summer child. Silly fool you are. So I was like, I mean, sure, okay, I'll try. And I tried, and I did a good job, and they invited me back for more. So yeah, and they've been training me. Paul Chion's been coaching me to be better at it, and yeah, they like really took a chance on me, and it paid off for them. So
That's
I'm
awesome.
super stoked about that.
That's awesome. So you're more of a what do they call it? Play-by-play
Yeah,
commentator?
that's my role.
Because the color commentator, that's more describing what the play they might be playing, or like the thought process behind it, right?
Yeah, so the play-by-play, we're basically just giving you the high-level overview of, okay, this is what's, well, not high-level, I don't know. But basically just the general, this is what's happening, they attacked them, there's this thing on the battlefield, and then we set up the experts. So Cedric and Corey are my experts. So I go, all right, Cedric, why did he do that instead of the other option that was available to him? And then they go off on their little tangent, explain what the plays are, what the lines are, what they're thinking about 3 steps ahead. And then as soon as they're done, I jump back in and say, okay, well, this has happened since that attack, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then we go from there.
So how, what's the training like that? Or what's the training on that like?
You know, basically just repetition. So like when Paul would train me, we'd go through old games and stuff, and then afterwards he would give me pointers, be like, okay, don't go off on that tangent too much, rather bring it back, you know, set it up for the expert to talk about this instead of you going with it, you know. Like it's kind of a strange thing, because like when I'm streaming, I need to talk about both sides of it, if you can think of it like that. So I need to switch off my analytical brain in a sense and be like, okay, don't go on that tangent. Let the expert handle that, because they'll know what I want to say and say it 10 times better than what I would do, you know? So, you know, it'd be feedback like that. Rather just keep it simple, set it up for the expert, bring it back, keep reminding people what's at stake, set up the story, make the players relatable, tell us a little bit about them, know the backstories, that sort of thing. So, you know, we're the storytellers, and then the experts are the meaty information givers.
So you bring up an interesting thing I never thought about. You're the storyteller having to provide, I guess, background on the players. Like, what is that? When you say that, what does that mean exactly? Like, do you get like little cheat sheets of who's who and like little background information on them?
Oh yeah, we have all the information. We've got their social insurance numbers. I lie. Social security numbers, whatever you guys call them. But yeah, so before big events, at least all the ones that I've worked on, all of the competitors are given questionnaires to fill out. And that just lets us get, you know, an insight into their play style, into their records. Are they Hall of Fame or not? How many top finishes do they have? What's their favorite deck or their pet card, or do they have any pets? Do they have a family? Do they have other hobbies? You know, so wherever there's like a chance to bring in something like that, we can. You know, we don't always get to go, you know, delve into their personal life stories or anything like that. It's mostly focused around Magic. But if someone has a funny anecdote or a funny story from a GP that they met this person and they were wearing a Tigger costume for whatever reason, then we can talk about that. You know, it's just whatever works.
Interesting. The other question I have regarding commentary is how much studying of the meta do you have to do in order to prepare yourself for, let's say, I don't know, a Mythic Invitational or whatever the events are?
Yeah, so ahead of the event, like if we had to go to a paper event, for example, or sorry, if we had to go to an in-person event like we did before pandemic times, we would be sitting there discussing, talking about the meta. The experts would take us through the different archetypes, what matchups they're good against, what they're bad against.
And is this before the recording and all that?
Yeah, before the recording. So there's like 2 days of rehearsal before the actual show. But before then, we've been playing the games. We've got Frank Karsten's insights, his metagame breakdown, why these decks are good, why we expect them to do well in the tournaments. And then, like, on the days of the actual shows, we're sitting in the green room playing Magic against each other until it's our turn to hop up there and go and...
now, is that like casual Magic, or you guys are just actually trying to prep more for whatever meta you're about to be commentating for?
Yeah, no, we're playing the players' decks. So we have access to all of them. We play them ahead of time, and we see what certain matchups are. It's like, okay, what's our next round? It's this person versus this player. All right, let's go try these decks out, and then hop in the booth, commentate it, back out the booth, play more Magic.
Okay, so even between when you're commentating, like when you go take your break for however long, you're in the back playing Magic as well, too, preparing for the next.
Yeah, we're watching the other guys in the booth, and playing a couple games with each other. It's a lot of fun.
Well, how important is that to, I guess, play and understand the decks you're about to commentate for?
Oh, it's so important. That's like half the job. If you don't know what's happening, you're gonna get roasted so hard. You don't want that. You don't want that. It makes you look bad. It makes Wizards look bad. It makes you look bad in the eyes of Twitch chat, and we all know how important that is to avoid.
Oh God. God.
Yeah, I don't know. You gotta know what's going on.
It's so like when I stream, I only stream a couple times a week, and like you said, I get maybe 10, 15, maybe 20 viewers and all that stuff. Because I don't focus a lot of my energy on the stream or anything. Yeah. It's more my podcast. But it's when I was part of Channel Fireball's Command Fest this past time, and there was almost 1,000 people watching. Holy crap. And, I'm playing and I know I'm making mistakes left and right, but I'm trying to avoid Twitch chat. But some of my people in my community are telling me they're making fun of me or whatever. And it's like, people don't realize like how nerve wracking that can be. And especially with commentating, I can't even.
It is nerve wracking. Like, people who play in the feature match area, you guys are the real MVP, because that is stressful. I would much rather be at a table in the back of the room just playing and focusing on the person opposite me. And how many cards of mine they're countering, for example. Like, yeah, it's a stressful thing. So people don't realize it until they do it.
Oh yeah, Skybills, right?
Yes.
Skybills. I had her on the show, and I've talked with her a bunch even afterwards. And she told me the same thing. Like when she was up on a feature match during one of the Mythic Invitational, she said it was so nerve-wracking. Like, you don't even understand how nerve-wracking it can be. And it's like,
beat Shahar Shenhar with mono red.
Yeah,
it was great.
Yeah, it is. I can't imagine people. Twitch chat just in general doesn't understand the pressure that you're on, and especially. And like I said, I know my whole little quote-unquote feature match was Commander, but at the same time, it's like we're having people from Channel Fireball tell us, all right, guys, you need to hurry up your play. You need to hurry up your play. Telling us, and we're like, oh, crap.
Yeah, it's this extra stress that you really don't want, but that's what comes with the show.
Yeah. So I got to give you props for commentating, because that's just, I don't know. Like I said, I've had a little bit of fancy of wanting to do in it, but I don't. It's too stressful. It's So you've only really ever done commentary for Magic Arena. Have you done any in paper? I can't remember if you have or not. Okay.
I was actually meant to this year. There were a couple of PTs that they wanted me to do for Pioneer, and I was so amped for it. I actually got an alert on my phone that said Washington. I'm like, Washington, what? And I look, it's like this whole week blocked out in my diary. I'm like, there was meant to be a Magic Fest this week. Damn.
Yeah. God, it's sad. But Okay, so I didn't know if you had any in-paper experience, because I guess one of the questions that I always had for people who've done commentating for paper is, yeah, especially like some of the older formats like Legacy, Modern, and all that. I swear, like the times that when I used to follow Legacy a couple years ago, and I'd watch it on Star City Games or Channel Fireball, whatever Twitch channel be,
Yeah.
like if I look away for a second, you don't know what's happening in the game now, depending on the deck
Yeah.
and all that.
Yeah.
And there's and the vast knowledge that you have to have of the cards is just
Yeah, like the older
Damn.
formats, they scare me a little bit, but it is something that I need to, get familiar with, especially when we're back playing paper
Yeah.
against each other and they want to use me for events. Like I have to know how these things work. Like Pioneer, I could kind of work my way through a little bit, but like, Modern and other events, it's like, no, too many cards I don't know. I don't recognize the alternate arts. Where's
Yeah.
my fun animations?
Oh, that's right. Alternate arts and stuff too. Oh God. And
Yeah.
I can only imagine how crappy it must be where they sort of mess up the lighting and there's like glare in certain spots on the table too, and
Oh,
you're just
man.
like, what card did they just play?
Yeah. That's where you just kind of go to the expert and be like, what just happened there? I missed that, An expert help.
God, so when and if and when paper events do happen, and let's just say, hey Ali, we want you for the Pioneer event. What's the sort of training and studying that you would have to do? Like take me through your process of what you'd have to do for that.
So for Pioneer events, I would go to everyone's favorite spreadsheet simulator, Magic Online, and go play some of the meta decks there according to websites like Channel Fireball or MTG Goldfish, because they're pretty good with keeping track of what decks are doing well. So I would just grab those decks and go and play them, and see how they feel, what matchups they come up against, and just try and familiarize myself with the cards and go and look, like especially go and find alternate arts, because some people would be using different prints of specific cards for these decks.
Yep.
But the one thing that is kind of beneficial is that you don't have to know every single card in a format. Like no one plays all the Pioneer cards.
Yeah.
no way they do. There's going to be a few prominent decks. Learn those backwards. There's going to be a few outliers. Learn them as much as you can. And then the random ones, if you happen to find one that slips in, it's just like, I don't entirely know what's happening with this one. Defer to the expert.
Oh, and then you're definitely in trouble if they don't know, like, what deck are they playing? I've never seen this before.
Yeah, but we have access to deck lists and stuff. They give us all that information ahead of time. So
Oh yeah, true.
like-
Yeah.
we can sit there and have a look, be like, just give me 1 sec, I just want to look this card up quick. Oh, okay, that's what it does. So if the one thing with commentary is like never give misinformation. If you don't know, it's okay to say that, but then just don't sit there going sorry to the audience, to be like, hang on,
Yeah.
I want to look this card up quickly. Make it part of the show, make it part of the interest.
Yeah,
Always
yeah.
look like but don't ever fake it, I guess. But that's kind of that doesn't really make sense. But yes, you have to fake it. You have to look like you know what you're doing.
Yeah,
But if you have to find out, make it fun.
It's you have to make yourself look like you know what you're talking about and know what you're saying, but don't lie, I guess.
Yeah. Don't tell them that it's going to exile something when it actually destroys it, for example.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. So when you're doing when you're commentating, whether I guess in person or remote, when you are actually watching the players, like how does that work? Because we know Magic Arena doesn't have a spectator view or anything.
And that makes me so sad.
And the way that the overlay sort of works right now is they sort of like they just sort of crop at least the top person's half of the screen so they can see their hand and all that. So what does that look like for you all? Do you see both their screens?
No.
No?
You see what you guys see.
Oh, okay.
It really sucks. It would be awesome. It would be awesome to see both sides of things, but the way that we're doing it remotely is those two players are streaming to like an ingest server.
Yeah.
They're recording it. There's about a 10-minute delay before we actually see that stuff. So we can't see both hands at the same time. So we just see what Twitch chat sees or what the audience sees.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is that also true with an in-person arena event? Well, I mean, not that you guys are 10-minute delay or anything, but
so at actual events when we have the players behind us playing, we see it in real time, but still we don't see both sides of things. We see what Twitch is being shown.
Okay. Yeah, they definitely need to implement some sort of spectator thing, hopefully soon.
Yes, please. It will be so much easier because then you don't have to rely on people's sometimes less than ideal internet connection. Because sometimes, it's like watching pixels dance on the screen.
And you wouldn't have to rely on interesting images in the background, like people going to the bathroom in the background.
Yeah.
I can't even remember who that was, but that was just...
Oh man, that was rough.
Oh god, no. What would also be cool about a spectator view would be also other people be able to run like little mini tournaments and all that. Like the creator community could run like little tournaments or something like that instead of having to figure out ways to rig something up.
Yeah,
like
it would make things so much easier. And like I was really hoping that with everyone relying on remote playing and commentary and that sort of thing, that they would have fast tracked that if they are working on it. I didn't even know if they are. There was no mention of it in the latest state of the game, so it's like
I wonder if a lot of their
friends?
I wonder if a lot of their work's just being pushed towards the mobile, trying to get it on mobile first, which would make sense from a business perspective because they want more people into the game and all that, and that would get a heck of a lot more people into it. But
true,
it's, I guess for a viewing experience, it would be a lot better to have a spectator view. I mean, come on, every esport has it now.
I mean, it's something that's desperately needed, especially for coverage. It would make our lives so much easier if we can be like, there's 5 cards in the graveyard because I can hover over it and see it. Not, I think there's 5. I'm not sure though. It just takes out any of the guesswork.
Well, do you all not have like the stream overlay stuff, like oh god, what are they called, like cardboard
live?
Oh, you don't?
No.
Oh man,
it doesn't work. It's such a, I mean, it looks fine the way they do it, but we don't have access to any of the information. Like we can't hover over cards if the screen is going a little fuzzy to see what's actually there. None of those integrations are available to us. It's all just kind of like a secondary copy paste thing.
Well, that sucks.
Yep.
Dang. So if someone's internet is starting to go fuzzy, just like how Twitch loves to do, you're sort of like, I don't know what they're playing.
I don't know what they did. We can't see. And sometimes it freezes up, and then we don't know what's happening. We just kind of have to vamp for like 2 minutes while they fix it, and then we have to refresh, and then
And then it's like, well, the color is blue, so they played a blue card.
Yeah.
Oh man.
At one of the events, Cedric and I, we couldn't see the cards. We couldn't see the number on the Planeswalker, the loyalty. We couldn't see that. It was so pixelated. So we were just going off of the images that we could kind of see, and we were hoping like, okay, I think this is right, but frick, I don't know.
Oh god, that's frustrating. Holy crap.
Yeah.
Does that same sort of thing happen in the in-person events with Arena? Or you haven't had that happen?
Sometimes we'll lose the feed to the programming, but that's usually like a wire's been knocked out or something like that. In-person events, for the most part, the technical side of things pretty smooth.
Oh, that's good. Man, it's I don't know, I think it's still a testament to Wizards. Just like I know it's not perfect, but gee, it's the best they can do because it's
Well, thank goodness for Arena, because can you imagine trying to run these tournaments on Magic Online?
No, I don't want to imagine.
Oh.
I don't want to.
I
don't want to.
Think about that.
My listeners know how I feel about Magic Online. I hate it. I'm just gonna be straight up on. I do not like it at all. And I've tried so hard to like it over the years. Like I've put money into it. I've played, but it's just I don't like it. I've tried.
When I first started it, because I had to, what was I doing? I just wanted to play Commander with a couple other content creators on there.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, how do I do this? How do I buy cards? Wait, what? I have to go to another website?
Right?
What?
Yeah.
But you get the card and then the bot talks to me in here, and then I have to say, yes, I give you ticks for the
Oh,
card. What?
it's so
my
confusing. It's so confusing just for a
Thank
new
goodness
player.
I had Twitter. Because I
Yeah.
was like, okay, how the hell do I do this? Someone please talk me through this.
Yeah, I think I had to Google like how to buy cards on Magic Online and just like read a step by step on my first time doing it. And just like what gets me is I know it's supposed to simulate tabletop Magic, and I 100% understand that, but it is way too slow. And especially when you're playing Commander with 3 other people and you just have that one person that is just god awfully slow. You're just okay, well this game's gonna take 2 hours when I only had 30 minutes to play.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's one of the things that I love with Magic Arena, where I can just get in some quick games of Magic. But I mean, even that's not perfect without its flaws. It's great to be able to hop in, play a few quick games of Magic, but it's, I don't know. I'm so bored of standard and historic right now. I try to.
A lot of people struggling with that.
Yeah, it's like I try to mix it up with Brawl, but Brawl's just like a wannabe Commander, and it's just not fun. Draft is like the only thing keeping me going right now with it, with Arena.
I love Draft, and I kind of like the Zendikar set, but like you said, the mill rogues and everything is just like,
Yeah, how is everyone? How is everyone? And I get that you're not actually playing against your pod after you're done drafting and all that, but it's like I swear I felt like I went up against nothing but it was either Orzhov or Dimir, and I'm just like, how's everyone able to draft that? Like, no one drafted any other colors?
Yeah. I always end up against crabs. Rune crabs.
Wow.
And then one day I was feeling spiteful and I got handed 3 rune crabs. So you bet I played them. I went 7-1 in that draft. It's because I irritated my opponents to death.
I don't blame you at all for that. I would have done the same exact thing.
And then the other day I had this player with 4 core celebrants, and then 2 marauding blight priests.
Ooh.
I wiped the battlefield, and they just brought them all back with the Agadeem's Awakening, and I was like, what?
Oh,
They
gross.
came into my chat and told me that they had 5 celebrants and 4 blight priests. I was like, how did you even draft that? I know they're commons, but come on.
I mean, one of the things that I hate with draft, like just in general, like especially when I do an in-person draft, is when someone says, how could no one draft this card? You know, but that, like, as I play more and more draft on Arena, or it's like, how could someone pass this card? Like, really? I hate that attitude in person, because not everyone's the best drafter, but I understand why they say that stuff sometimes. Like you said, you got past 3 ruin crabs. I'm like, how?
Yeah. Just hate draft those cards, even if you don't want to play it. Take one for the team.
Right.
But yeah, that's another thing that we desperately need in Arena is pod drafting. Like, just let us play with our friends, give us packs to open and play against each other. It doesn't even have to be like more than one game. Just let us play against our pod.
Or cube. Like, if they implemented like create your own cube type thing, I think that's pretty much all I do is just like build my cube and just try to get some friends to draft it. Like, okay, hey, we're gonna play sealed with it, or we can do draft with it. You know, like
you can do that in MTGO, right? They sometimes have, or is that just events where they let someone make a cube?
Yeah, it's just an event cube and all that. Okay. So, but if you could make your own cube, even if you could do it in Magic Online, like make your own cube, I'd be 100% down for that.
Yeah, I'm sure someone's made a mod somewhere for that.
Probably. I mean, I think the easiest way you do it on Magic Online would be you'd probably upload your cube somewhere else and draft it there. Then whatever they drafted, essentially, you just trade them your cards, I guess, and then you build the deck. But that's way too involved.
Yeah.
Like we said before, just buying cards on Magic Online's a pain in the ass. Doing that, just even more of a pain. And then you're like, hey friend, can you give me the cards back? Oops, they dropped offline.
Oh god.
But no, so that's a lot of insight about the commentary. That's I don't know. It seems scary First, I'm just gonna put out there like for that, but I like that they do a lot of training for that too. Because God, I guess you got to have it, and also I guess another question I have for it is the chemistry of it too, because everybody likes to say Cedric and Patrick Sullivan, they have really good chemistry and all that stuff. So when you're starting to work with the expert commentator, like what are you all doing to try to develop that chemistry? Is it all just like work and talk, or do you try to get to know each other, or how does that work?
Yeah, so it's we do a few practice runs ahead of time, especially when I started working with Cedric. It would, we'd go through a few rounds together just to make sure we don't step on each other too much.
Yeah.
Figure out each other's flow and our cadence and whatnot. And then, just like get to know each other, get a good rapport going between the two. They've switched me to Corey now. Cedric's doing more of the desk role with Maria and Sean at most events. So I think also that Corey and I have got a similar kind of personality, a lot more bubbly, playful, a little bit out there. So, we got on like a house on fire. So
that's awesome.
So yeah, I think it's just a pairing thing, trying out different pairs, see who feels best with each other, what the feedback's like, how the audience receives us, that sort of thing. So yeah, it's cool. It's just getting to know each other, feedback afterwards, being like, okay, is there anything I could do better for you? Want to set you up more around this thing? Is that fine? Checking with each other beforehand. Is there anything that you're not comfortable with? Because you don't want to make each other look like an idiot. The whole thing is you have each other's back, right? So make sure that you're both on the same page when it comes to certain things.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So what kind of advice would you give to people out there that are maybe interested, not just in Magic commentary, but just any kind of commentary in general?
I would say, like, make your own opportunities. Me personally, I got quite lucky with my opportunity, and I made the most of it, and it paid off. And they keep asking me to do more, so I'm very grateful for that. But people like Riley Knight set up his own commentary for an event in Australia, I think, and Wizards took note and sent Marshall, I believe, to go and commentate with him. So that's how he got into the thing. So it's a case of, make your own opportunities, set up community tournaments, commentate your own events.
Because that's what
tag Wizards and be like, hey, look at me. The one thing
that's one of the things that TJ did.
Sorry?
TJ from Ponder Podcast. That's what he did. He was commentating for his local LGS or something like that. They'd stream it.
Nice. Yeah, you like don't. It's the whole thing about, please, could I just win the lottery? It's like, well, you got to go and buy a lottery ticket. You got to take a chance, believe in yourself. And I think it was Jesse Cox who said it, but advertise like a shameless whore. Put yourself out there. Make sure people know what you're doing and that you're interested in it. Otherwise, nothing ever comes of it. So, yeah.
It's true. So I think that is a perfect way to end this interview here. No, it is. I really enjoyed it. I want to thank you again for coming on, chatting with me about a lot of this. It's I don't know, really insightful too. Just like learning about commentary and just behind the scenes type stuff. I'm always interested in that kind of stuff, like a lot of the behind the scenes of how that all works. It's very interesting to me.
Oh, you're welcome, and happy to come back again if you want to hear more about what I have to say.
Yes, no, definitely, and we need to play some EDH too. Like I definitely get Pixie involved with that. So where can people find you should they want to reach out or follow your content?
Yeah, I'm on twitch.tv/AliasV or on Twitter, COL_AliasV, Cole being Complexity, which is my team. And if you just Google me, I'm very Googleable. AliasV, you'll find me. I have a website too, aliasv.com. Go there. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I just want to thank you again for coming on. Thank you for coming on this early and chatting with me. And it's been great.
Thanks for having me.
I hope you have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you. You too.
Hey, everybody, and thank you all for listening to the show. Hope you really enjoyed the interview. It was a little bit shorter of an interview. We did have a little bit of a hard stop, and that's okay. That's okay. I'd love to get her on the show again. And literally right after we finish recording, we're already trying to set up an EDH game going on. So hopefully very soon we'll be playing some EDH with Alias, and that should be a hell of a lot of fun. So thank you all again for listening and watching. Hope you all have a great day, and thanks again. And even to the silent listeners and watchers out there, you are appreciated.